God surprised us.
I know He kept me here to fulfill purpose. I didn't know that I would be alive to be among those that would say God did it.
Coming up on God Did It tonight, as we get ready to gracefully step into the new year 2024, we'll take a quick trip into memory lane, recalling with gratitude the things only our God could have done amongst us here in the house on the rock, Port Harcourt. The clock is ticking, and I'm sure you'd agree with me, there's certainly no better time than now to take a retrospective look at 2023. You're on to the new service of House on the Rock, Port Harcourt, and here's a special crossover edition of God Did It. I am Atenode Inko Ogiga. Thanks for joining me. Let's begin tonight by recalling the amazing testimony Pastor Angela Onoshe shared with us on the 1st of January this year. Her daughter had been diagnosed with a very rare medical condition, the Guillain-Barré syndrome and AIDP. By implication, she ran the risk of having her entire body paralyzed. By the time Pastor Angela Onoshe got to know about it, her daughter had already lost mobility in her legs and rushed to the hospital. From a place of victory, she made declarations that her daughter will walk out of the hospital unaided. By the mercies of God, that was exactly what happened, as her daughter days later was able to walk again. She has since returned home to her baby, who was then only 5 months old, and they are both doing very well. Now, being able to travel and return in one piece is one miracle often taken for granted by many, not until something unexpected happens. Now, take a look at this.
Oh my God, this is too bad.
What you can see on the screen are the ruins of the car belonging to our brother Minister Samuel Ikuru's younger brother. He shared with us earlier this year the story of how his younger brother survived a ghastly motor accident. He was driving on his way back to Port Harcourt from the village after his traditional wedding when one of his tires busted and he lost control of the vehicle. In the car with him was his wife and 4 others. Miraculously, no one was hurt in the incident. What's even more surreal to our brother Minister Ikuru is the fact that it was only a few moments after the last person was successfully removed from the wreckage that the car went up in flames completely. What a miracle. And now, in a similar circumstance, we also brought you the remarkable story of our brother Wokeze Newman. He was involved in a very fatal accident on his way from Abuja to Port Harcourt.
I was pushed to the ICU and I stayed in the ICU for 7 days. I was intubated and fed through tubes and syringes. I was just lying in bed, bearing the pains and crying to God to come and save me and not let me to die. It was traumatic, it was painful, but the most important thing is that God was there for me. So after the 6 weeks, I started sitting up in bed. They ordered for a wheelchair for me. After 2 weeks, I was able to get up from the wheelchair. I started using the Zimmer frame, but they had proposed that I would be on wheelchair for 6 months. It could only be God. So after 1 month in that rehabilitation center, I was referred back to Port Harcourt to continue physiotherapy. And when I came back to Port Harcourt, my wife was already 8 months pregnant. Finally, on October 19, God did it. He gave us a baby boy. It was part of what boosted my recovery. Out of 8 passengers in that vehicle, 2 persons died, but God chose to keep me alive.
See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. It's a marvelous thing. It's a glorious thing. What I've been waiting for.
Now, despite the many challenges that characterized 2023, one thing stood sure, and that's the prophecy over this year as given by our senior pastor, Reverend Landry Oluche.
House on the Rock, the Heritage House, Port Harcourt. This year, 2023, is the year of the new.
We saw this play out in the number of testimonies from our brethren who testified of their many first experiences. For our brother Ketu, it was God granting him his heart desires of a tech jump with a relocation offer that sprang up a series of many first experiences, beginning with his first international flight. For her sister Miriam, it was God granting her prayer request of a job that will catapult her husband's career to the next level. When God did it, it was far above what she had ever imagined, as her husband got a job with a leadership role in a global organization and 3 steps higher than where he was at the time. The package also included a very good salary, lots of international travels, and even an option to work remotely. Our brother Emmanuel also received divine favor all through his journey towards actualizing his dream to study abroad. Today, he's in the United Kingdom studying for his master's degree. Mr. Walter Wakpadolo's many first experience unraveled as supernatural breakthroughs as he moved from being a barbecue griller on the streets to a CEO of an international organization now earning in dollars. Ayeni wasn't left out. He says this year was totally a new beginning for him as he not only came out of a debt worth 15 million naira, but also got a new job where he now heads a new division, building a new team, has a brand new car and salary increase. Moving on, when I first read the story, it instantly sent chills down my spine. But one thing became clearer. Our God is very much alive and is well able to save us no matter the circumstance. It was a testimony sent in by a brother of Fido, thank God. On his way to Anambra State, he was kidnapped, beaten, blindfolded, and thrown into a pit. All he could do then was to plead the blood of Jesus. On the day he was to be beheaded, he was taken to their chief priestess, who surprisingly told the abductors our brother was innocent. However, the kidnappers went on contemplating whether to kill him or not. Whilst they were still at it, all of a sudden, the clouds got dark with thunderstrike as though there was going to be a storm. At that moment, they began to say in Igbo, Ayaneri Esioya Kayadiosha, meaning we don't take the head of an innocent person. Now, that was how our God came through for our brother of Fido, thank God, and he was allowed to go free. What a story. You're still on to this very special crossover edition of God Did It, taking a review of amazing testimonies of 2023. Now, do you recall the story of little Sharon Edmond? She was lost but later found. Her father, who was filled with gratitude to reunite with his daughter, shared his God Did It story with us earlier this year.
Around 7 to 8 p.m., my phone rang. I was on the road in search of my daughter. My phone rang. It was my wife's call that my daughter is at home, that she has just returned with some police officers have just returned my daughter. At that point, I lost it. I started shouting on the road, started screaming on the road, started shouting. God did it for me. God is the one who did it, not me, not my effort. After then, we took her back to the police station. Then she started making her statement. There, I now got to find out from her that while she was coming out from the street to meet her mother, a man stood just after the camera on her street and blew her something and told her that your mother goose just arrived, that your mother said you should come and carry it. That was the only thing she remembered. Until they got to where she was recovered at Ibu. It could only be God.
Now, if you've ever doubted that miracle still happens, Amaria's testimony was one to prove you wrong. Unknowingly to her brother, he stepped into a faulty lift and fell all the way from the 4th story, landing on his chest. He went into coma for more than a week. However, through prayers of faith, he miraculously snapped out of it with no sign that he ever went through such an ordeal. In no time, he became completely whole, with no spinal cord injuries, no defects in his speech or movements. Now, what do you say to that? Turning our attention now to our family life, our God within the year on the review proved his ways to be far above human comprehension, defying all predictions of medical experts. First, it was Mrs. Splendor James Onobum who testified of how she successfully gave birth to 3 beautiful babies at different times, even after she was told by medical experts she won't be able to have her own babies because of a multiple fibroid diagnosis. Mr. Walter was also diagnosed to be impotent and as a result won't be able to have his own children. But look at him today. He's not only a father of 1, but 4 handsome boys. Interestingly, that happened not with any medical intervention, but with the impact of a prayerful wife. Aside those beautiful stories, we equally had the amazing testimony of our brother Dr. Henry Wobo, who received full restoration after a series of traumatic experiences. His wife successfully gave birth to a set of twins after a prophecy from our senior pastor, Reverend Lanre Olusheye, during the Friday morning prayers. Now, only recently, we also celebrated with the family of Mr. and Mrs. Richard Walker for the successful birth of their triplet babies after 3 years of waiting. Now, I guess this might just be the testimony of the year, the one that gladdens your heart in joy when you hear it. It is the remarkable story of Dr. Taria Debisi, who showed us the true meaning of patience, perseverance, and unwavering faith in God. She shared with us the uplifting story of how our God blessed her with a set of twins after 2 decades. 20 years of waiting.
Even now, I cannot put my feelings into words. I can't say I was so happy. It just sounds so ordinary. If there's anything beyond excited, beyond happy, it was not the kind of happiness that you scream. It's just the type that your heart is so full that you don't even know, you can't put it into words. I was so excited. And in June, of course, the devil tried his best to raise his ugly head. There was some bleeding here and there, but it's just, nothing happened to the babies. Let me just put it that way. And I had my babies, to the glory of God, in January, and there were 2 healthy, bouncing baby boys. The reason for this testimony is to encourage someone out there. I don't know how long you have waited, and I don't know what it is you actually believe in God for. It may not even be children, but God is in the business of doing miracles. That's all I can say. God did it for me, and I'm sure he can do it for you. It just takes you being in that place of faith and just doing what you've been doing. It was painful for me to serve in children's church because that's where I was, carrying other people's babies. And then even at the point where I told myself, look, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to leave children's church. Pastor Lanre and Pastor Inem, I don't know whether they had foresight, decided that I should go and be in the crèche, as if this was like fry pan to fire kind of issue. I'm like, okay, I'm running away from children's church. Now they actually want me to be with actual babies. But I did it. I did it and I stuck with it. And God has blessed me. I don't have the words, but I just want everyone to join me and thank this God who has rolled away the years of waiting. It just seems like I didn't go through all I went through, but God did it for me anyway.
Come and join me, worship Him.
Absolutely stunning. Truly, with our God, nothing is impossible. Now, every time we've had to gather here throughout the year, whether it's a Tuesday prayer meeting, a Thursday midweek service, or a Sunday celebration services, it's been a veritable opportunity to be blessed by our Father. Our venues such as the Friday morning prayers, the Activate Conference, and other church programs have equally remained conduits through which we've received from our God. And for that, we're truly grateful. To say 2023 was a challenging year for many would mean stating the obvious. But as the challenges came, so did our God come through for us. And today, we are still here standing. As a result, we can look forward to 2024 with even more vigor, trusting that He will begin a good work in us, will be able to lead us through 2024. So that by this time next year, we'll boldly declare 2024 was a great year. I am Atenode Inko Ogig, and I'm confident of a beautiful and rewarding 2024. Hope you are too. On behalf of myself and the rest of the news crew, I would like to say keep your hope alive. God is with us always. See you again in 2024. Bye for now.
Possible, Jesus. precious year.